Hi anime lovers. Welcome to A for Anime channel. In this video, we are going to talk about Jujutsu Kaisen the Culling Game. Episode 4 of Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3 begins with Maki arriving at her household. She meets Naoya, who almost instantly treats her like trash and berates her. Still, she ignores him and heads towards the armory. She shouldn't be allowed in there, but Megumi, as the new clan leader, gave her permission. Then she remembers how she convinced him to assume the role. Although Megumi didn't want to do that, Maki said they'd gain important intel and assets. After a while, he accepted. However, he said she would be much better than him. In turn, the girl said she wouldn't have the same backing. More importantly, she doesn't know how to create a place for her sister Mare to belong. Once she enters the armory, something surprises her. Before we see what, the story goes back to a conversation between Jinichi Zenon and Naoya, and we finally understand. Jinichi doesn't want Fushiguro to become the clan leader, so he made a plan in which they'll kill him, Maki, and Mei. That way, his plan will be more believable. So when the girl enters the armory, her sister is collapsed on the ground, and her own father is waiting to kill them both. Maki attempts to resist, but she's no match for her father. She breaks his blade and closes in, believing she'll win, allowing him to slash her twice. As he drags her and her sister somewhere else, he explains that his strength lies in being a sorcerer. Breaking his sword doesn't mean that his technique will stop working. He blames the two girls for him not becoming the clan head and throws them in an empty room. Ogi uses it to train, so the place is full of cursed spirits, which will devour his daughters soon enough. After he leaves, Mare musters the strength to hug her sister's face and uses her technique. Suddenly, Maki finds herself at the beach with Mare. Mare explains that siblings are a bad omen in the Jujutsu world because they are like one being. Because of that, both of them will always be half-baked. Maki doesn't understand what her sister is saying and begs her to come back as the girl keeps walking towards the ocean. Still, Mare says she'll make her one last gift before she dies. The only thing she asks is that Maki destroy everything. Mare cries and appears as her child self before saying her final goodbyes to her sister. When Maki wakes up, she has a new sword in her hand, and Mare is already dead by her side. Several spirits approach, but it doesn't matter to Maki. As her sister died, her heavenly restriction has finally reached its full potential, meaning she has a promise to keep. Her father feels a sensation he had once forgotten, the presence of Toji. The man calls his daughter a failure as he calls her to battle, but it's all over before he finishes speaking. Maki cuts his head open and walks out of the armory. Someone sounds an alarm, and the Kokoro unit go after her. They're an elite group that can't use cursed techniques from which she has already been a part of. Their leader, Nobaki, underestimates her strength, failing to see her as a threat. When his soldiers meet her, the screen turns to black and white, and their fight becomes a beautiful homage to the scene in Kill Bill featuring the Crazy 88. Like in the movie, they're no match for the girl, who cuts through all of them, filling the room with blood. Nobaki opens the door and can't even register what's happening from surprise. Suddenly, two enormous hands made of stone grab Maki and smash her. That's Chojuro's technique, one of the members of Hei, the Zenon clan's elite group of sorcerers. However, Maki escapes his attack unscathed and kills him and Chojuro. Another member of Hei tries to restrain her movements while Jinichi sends a literal rain of fists down at her. Still, Maki easily survives the attack again and kills the rest of them. The only person on her way is Naoya, who still underestimates her. He remembers the time he met Toji and how it rocked him to the core. To him, she's just a fake. Naoya beats her up at the start, as she's not a match for his speed. If he doesn't stop, he can get even faster, and he won't lose, as in his fight against Choso. When Maki gets the chance, she blocks his path, forcing him to run in a straight line. Naoya still believes that won't save her, so he advances with all his might. However, he doesn't know that she's already figured out his technique. When he's close to her, she happily clobbers his head, pulverizing part of his skull. After that, she looks for his mother and asks her why she called her back, to which she doesn't answer. Then, Maki slashes her and leaves. Naoya gets to the house soon after, believing to have escaped death. However, Maki's mother appears behind him while bleeding and with a smile on her face. In her last moments, she drops down to the floor, killing Naoya, saying she's glad she had her daughters. The episode ends where Momo arrives at the Zenon household as Maki leaves it, carrying Mare on her shoulders. The blonde girl cries at the sight of her dead friend and questions what Maki is going to do.